Wide-spaced learning helps students gain a large amount of information in a short time, helps to acquire the relevant content of the disciplines, increase motivation, helps to incorporate the information into long-term memory.
What is spaced learning? Attempt to make learning more effective with repetitions and gaps. Repeated stimulation of the same neural pathway to promote the ability to retrieve the information. Allow learners to engage at a deeper level with the learning materials. The power is in the gap or space between learning sessions, extending the learning timeline.
What are the benefits of spaced learning? Spacing helps minimize forgetting and boost long-term remembering. Spaced repetition can be beneficial in making ideas more persuasive, improving learning effectiveness by facilitating the application of learning to the job tasks.
Spaced learning design. Learning sessions should present the same learning content in a different way. During the gap involves different parts of the brain to activities unrelated to primary learning activity or content. Present learning session just before the forgetting stage. The ideal spacing interval should be roughly equal to the retention interval.
What is the spacing effect? The spacing effect occurs when we present a learner with a concept to learn, wait some amount of time, and then present the same concept again. Spacing can involve a few repetitions or many repetitions. Spaced repetitions need to be verbatim repetitions. Repetitions can also be delivered to different perceptual modalities: visual, auditory, olfactory, kinesthetic, and through different learning media: text, audio, video, computer, internet, classroom. Regardless of the way repetitions are manifested, if two or more presentations of the same learning point are repeated with some sort of time delay between them, they are likely to produce the spacing effect. The spacing effect occurs when repetition of learning points are distributed over time.
How does this relate to spacing?
First, present tell me or show me. Space retrieval practice is more likely to generate retrieval failures than no-spacing retrieval practice.
Second, recall content presented with some missing information. Let me. The longer, more authentic the time delay, the more the test of retrieval will force learners to adopt productive cognitive encoding strategies.
Thus, understand, apply knowledge, skill, and problem solving. Test me spacing is inherently about repetitions, and subsequent repetitions are needed to enable learners to employ extra attentional processing.
Which is our experience? The experiment was carried in various classes, but today we concentrate on a third class of the course, International Relations for Marketing, where it concerns a part of the program entitled The Assets from a Legal Point of View. Students already knew the main contents of the topic. Students were previously informed about the experiment and expressed enthusiasm and participation. The topic was presented with a PPT.
In the first stage, 10 minutes, the key concepts of the lesson were presented. In the presentation, we used technical language that students should learn at the end of the unit.
During the first break, 10 minutes, the students were asked to do something entertaining or relaxing. Some listened to music with headphones, others drew, others played with a mobile phone, etc.
During the second input, 10 minutes, we used slides similar to those used in the first input, but asked the students to fill in the blanks with missing key information. In this phase, the pupils showed interest and a good capacity to understand and expose the content.
During the second break, 10 minutes, the students did more or less the same activity as in the first one.
During the third and final input, 50 minutes, the students were provided with slides printed on paper, and they were asked to apply the knowledge and skill acquired by answering a series of questions regarding the key information contained in the first input. Experiment results. Out of 13 students, members of the first class, higher IM, the test showed the following results. The students in the test showed they understood the subject and they were able to answer to the questions. Most of the students recalled the key information provided in the first input and applied them correctly in the various exercises. 81.2% of students achieved sufficient or more than sufficient as a mark.
Comments on spaced learning. Considering our personal experience, spaced learning is a very useful method, especially in classes of technical schools like ours, composed of students with concentration difficulties and the tendency to get distracted during frontal lessons. The method is effective in particular once the subject has been previously treated at the conclusion of a lesson cycle to recall the essential contents before evaluation. It could also be used to perform a fast recovery lesson. Spaced learning is an ideal method to acquire new knowledge, skills or information. It improves students' ability to acquire information in long-term memory.